able to read the hearts. And so, the Sabr, it is a very wide subject. It's a very deep subject. Because the Sabr belongs to Allah. It belongs to Allah. And Sabr, the patience that is so divine that He has given, only mankind can understand it. Animals, they cannot understand what is Sabr. How are the animals going to understand to be patient? The Ramadan is to teach us not to take our animal characteristics to make it to rise, but to bring it down. If anything, Ramadan is teaching us Sabr. But what is that quality? What is that Sabr? What is that patience? Somebody says something to you, you feel so upset, you say, okay, I'm being patient, I'm being patient, I'm being patient. Use that patience. That is just saying at that time, I'm not going to blow up, but little time later, you're going to find an opportunity, then you're going to blow up. Is that patience? No, it's not patience. The patience, it is knowing that whatever that is happening now, so many things are going to happen from it. It is not a situation that is now. Patience, that is against the ego. The ego never loves to be patient. The ego wants, well, now, whenever I want it, that's what I want, I take it. But Allah is also teaching us in these days, in this world, if you have patience, if you even continue to train your ego to have patience, even in the wrong things that you can do it better. Even the wrong things that you're doing, you can do better if you have more patience. Patience, it is something knowing that whatever that is happening now, this is not a reality. It is not its reality. It is a sign of something else. It is a sign that something else that is in the future is going to happen. A future more, eternity that is going to happen. It is not just now. Make it very simple. When we are young, you just, especially if you're not taught how to be patient, you're just going to do whatever you're going to do. You can, for the most part, when you're young, because you're protected, because the angels are protecting you. And that is allowed also because before you reach to the age of puberty, so many things that is happening to you, it is not really your ego or shaitan that is kicking in, because you're still under that protection. There is still, you are still ma'soom. You're not responsible. When that age of responsibility comes, then you start carrying the burden of being responsible, the burden of sin, let us say, like that. But you're young. You're doing anything that you want to do. You want to eat anything that you want to eat. Okay? You're not being patient with it. But later you realize that whatever action that I'm doing right now, it is going to have a result and consequences, not one time, 1 year later, not one time, 10 years later, maybe for the rest of your life and beyond, it is going to have an impact based on what you are doing right now. The man who is patient understands what that impact is. He understands that. He understands at least to say, if I stop from doing these wrong things, then all this evil influence that is on me is going to be weak. But if I continue doing this, all this evil influence is going to be strong. Then that time, even in my prayer, they are going to come because they already broke through. So Ramadan is teaching us that whatever action that we're doing in this month, good action, it has a huge impact, no? If you are saying, doing one good thing, awliya Allah, they're saying, it's as if you're doing 70,000 times good. Now, the bad things that we're doing, we're asking Allah to forgive and to cover it. The source of patience, it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not coming from us. The source of patience is coming from Allah. How many times we heard Shaykh Efendi saying, see how patient Allah is. That patient man, always his enemies are going to say he's stupid or he's weak. Isn't that what people are saying about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing us sign after sign, verse after verse, after every holy book, to show His power. And yet, with everything that is happening in this world right now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing patience. He is not sending His punishment yet. He is not sending His punishment yet. There is a quality of that patience. When you're sitting and you're being patient, there is a quality of that. There is a feeling of that. There is a reality that is there. What is the reality of that patience? One, it is, I'm just feeling so upset, but I'm just going to bottle it up. The one day I'm going to let it to become explode. That is one level, but that is the lowest level. That is not really patience. It's just saying, wait until I get my revenge. How many times you heard Shaykh Efendi saying, you must learn how to swallow it, you must learn how to digest it, and you must learn how to give it out. This is very difficult to do. You must learn to swallow it first. A lot of people, what? Swallow me? Some people, they swallow a little bit, they throw back up. First, you got to learn how to swallow it. Like I said, this is a divine quality. If Allah is not patient, what chance do we have? You must learn to digest it. You must learn how to break it down. You must learn, because when you digest something, you break it down, you take what is good. Correct? And what is not good, you must learn how to throw it out. Not to keep inside and then later to get cancer. To learn how to digest it. And the one who is the most patient is the Holy Prophet ﷺ. That doesn't mean that that one who is patient is going to become like a doormat for people just to step all over him. No. Because now he's seeing the plans ahead. He's seeing, if I do this action, it's going to have so many different results, repercussions. It's going to change so many things. He knows, the believer knows. One action that I make, it may change so many lives too. I'm going to be very careful. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he understood that. And when you understand that the action that you're going to take, how it's going to affect people, not now, maybe 10 years from now. Look how children, they are taking everything. Then later, it's going to affect their lives and they don't understand. Until they're made to know, oh, it's something that happened to you. If we are not watching this to see how we're going to affect each other, this very delicate and this very beautiful and complex plan that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making, we're going to destroy. Allah is the creator, we are going to destroy it. They see the prophets and the awliya Allah. They know which action to take. They know which ones to take that is going to be with the pleasure of Allah, like what the khutbah is saying, with the rida of Allah, with the pleasure of Allah, not for their pleasure. So they are going to ask from the owner of Sabr, what is the best action to take? They're going to take themselves out of it. Because the man who is patient, he disappears. He doesn't exist. He's saying, I cannot put myself here. I cannot feel myself. I must completely disappear. That is why it is one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult station to reach, the patience. So then, awliya Allah, the believers, they know this action with the patience, this action is going to become even more open and clear for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they're going to take that. That way, as Allah is creating, they are not destroying. They are being active in that creation also. Understand? Inshallah. So, how are you going to get patience? If you're not tested, how are you going to know whether you've really studied or not? How are you going to, you say you're the patient person, but everything that is rubbing you, everything that is poking you, everything, you get upset, you get angry. How is that patience? How is that patience? Everything you're going to respond very harshly, hardly like that. How is that patience? Because everything that is going to poke you, everything that is going to rub you, especially in the dergah, because this is now, it is a hospital, it is a training ground. As Maulana Rumi is saying, how are you going to be polished if you complain of every little thing that is rubbing you? How are you going to be polished? And that one, he's polishing himself, not for himself. He's polishing himself to make himself disappear, so that the divine qualities, the dressing is going to be shown. That is going to be not himself. So you're not going to be patient when you're young. Later when you grow up, world is going to teach you. No one is going to escape from this. You're not going to be patient. You continue to be very impatient, very angry, very stubborn. The ground is going to teach you. If that's not finished, they're going to put you into the fire. That will teach you, that time in the fire. Can anyone say, may Allah not test us? So things that are happening to us, that is rubbing us here and there, take a step back. Take a step back and understand. That first step, it is patience. First step, it is patience. But the end, it is marifat. To not put your ego there, to tell your ego to pull back. Like I said, to make yourself to disappear in that situation is not look at that situation, don't look at yourself responding to the situation. Then you can move properly. You can move very well. You can move with intelligence. And then you understand patience, it is the key that opens everything. It is a key that opens everything. Without that patience, you cannot do anything. Because you're just going to destroy. Understanding the right time, right place, right words, right situation. You have to be patient for that. Waiting. Waiting and expecting and hoping for the sake of Allah. Allah will not disappoint, inshallah rahman. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. Amen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.